Willie D Live.
What's up, family? We got a church member who learned a valuable lesson. Keep your eyes open in the house of the Lord. Yeah, man, the pastor went off. He said, hey, don't you lay your head. I'm important. You listen to me. Walked down and got on the level of the member and said, yeah, you know I love you, right? Yeah, you better say. I guess he said yes, and he was like, yeah, you better say yeah. Then he turned to one of the other members and said, and what are you doing here, Mr. Underwood? I looked on the calendar and said, I'm supposed to marry you two. Pointed at him and his woman. And then he said, you're one of the sorriest members I have in this church. Damn. Family, these pastors off the chain now. I mean, I hate to say it, family, but I think we're approaching the last days. It gotta be. I saw a dude out on the street getting a haircut. Actually, he wasn't on the street, he was in the barber shop getting a haircut. And another dude was behind him cutting the hair off his booty. He had his pants dropped, another dude behind him. We gotta be, if we're not in the last days, we're very close. People have no decorum, no respect, no class, no dignity. It is hard to find. Yeah, a few people got it. A few people still got it. Y'all got it. Y'all checking out Willie D Live, so I know you got it. But man, there's a lot of people just ain't got it. What the hell happened? And I get it. We can only blame Donald Trump for so much of it. I mean, he's a big part of it, but it was already in motion before he showed up. He just kind of ramped it up. And he's made it okay for other dignitaries in the United States to behave that way. It's bad, man, it's bad. The pastor was like, I'm important. Yeah, I am somebody. First of all, fam, do y'all think the pastor went too far? Did the pastor go too far? In a way, you kind of want the pastor to be firm, you want him to be stern, but at the same time, it seemed the pastor was doing a little self-aggrandizing. You know, it seemed like he was a little full of himself. And that is the reason why a lot of people have turned their back on the church. They won't go. Now, just because they turn their back on the church don't mean they necessarily turn their back on God, but they have turned their back on church because a lot of these pastors are just simply out of control. He came all the way down to wake the dude up. Like, yeah, you wake up, you know, I'm not your English teacher. Man, what happened to just grandma just giving you a good bow in the side, you know, a slap you across your head? What happened to that? Bring back grandmas. Bring back the slapping grandmas. You know, my grandma gave me a couple of nudges before. Well, actually only once. I only had to do it one time. And after that, I never sat next to my grandma again. Because, you know, I fell asleep and my grandma was like Medea-sized grandma. And we called her Medea. She keep me with the bow up. And you can't cry, you better not cry. Yeah, my grandmother was a real deal. But it only took that one time, and I never fell asleep in church again, not around her, not sitting next to her. But getting back to the pastor, it's really six in one hand, half a dozen in the other, because on one hand, you might say, well, you know, if the pastor wasn't so boring, the member wouldn't have fell asleep. Then on the other hand is, no matter what the pastor is talking about, you show respect by staying awake. You don't fall asleep in church. I've seen people fall asleep in comedy clubs. You don't know what people be going through. Somebody they probably had a double shift. Probably had to work a double shift. You never know. In any event, drop a comment, family. Let me know what y'all think about this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Was the pastor right or wrong? And would you go to his church? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.